Hello friends, here I am. It's Friday again, October 11, and there you can see me better. I'm working on this little painting. I worked on it already for a couple of hours, as you can see. I began by just drawing the picture as I've shown you before with a pencil and toning the canvas with a few values, a little bit of dark and light, and I've gone ahead and added a little bit of white and black to this underpainting with raw umber. So this is the subject that I'm painting. This is an 11 by 14 inch canvas. If you have watched my other videos, you might wonder why I'm not doing Cantinflas. I don't know if you can see it here, but it's still a work in progress. But for today, today's class on portraits, this is the subject that was given to me to paint. So I didn't choose this, but it's a good subject to capture different colors, right? So this is supposed to be somewhat of a quick painting, so I'm not going to go ahead through the whole process of, usually I do white and black. Here, when I paint, I do the whole thing in white and black, and then I go into the color. I've also done, as you might have seen, just from the brown, the underpainting directly to the color. I've done that, so this is more of a gradual brown to black and white to color in not one session, but in one session of wet paint. So I'm not letting the paint dry in between. I'm just going directly into what I did, black and white. And now what I'm about to do, I'm going to be introducing some color to the painting, right? Even though it's still wet, it's still not perfect. It needs a lot of work at this stage, you could say, but here we go. I'm just going to start adding some of the colors that I see, right? So on the face, there's a lot of crimson and orange, a lot of green, a lot of blue for the cool colors, and some white with a touch of green. White is usually never just pure white on the background. There's a lot of blues as well, greens, obviously some not too high red, a little bit dull browns. So yeah, I'm going to just start. I'm using this brush. One brush is about 1/4 inch. This brush is a filbert brush. It's not my favorite. I need to go buy a flat brush. I haven't gone, but for now this is what I have. This is my weapon. So I'll be using this one. I'll try to not switch. I have this other one that's a little bit wider, just for like bigger space, to cover bigger space a little faster. So yep, this is what I have so far. So I'm going to get started. I have all my colors here on my palette, and I'm still trying to think where I want to begin this painting, but I think I'm going to go somewhere around the background, capture that bluish greenish tone. So I'm going to grab some sap green and a little bit of, looks like cerulean blue, something like that, and maintaining the raw umber, right? Maintaining that raw umber look. So for the outside here, again, it's too small, this brush, so I'm just going to grab a bigger brush. So I'm just going to go ahead and somewhat load the brush to see how it comes out, and there we go. We got started to green, grab more blue, mix on the canvas. So that's the good side of working with wet paint. You can mix it as you go. My brush is not running really nice, so I would grab oil, but I don't want to make it too oily yet, so I'm going to just grab a little bit of mineral spirits. So I live next to um, to the firefighters and police station, fire station, police station. I live next to the library as well, and it's nice that I have all of these things easily accessible. But sometimes I do hear, sadly, the machines, the fire machines and the police cars with their sirens racing down the street. So you'll hear them here and there. They don't really bother me, but I'm used to it. So here, grabbing some blue. I don't know if you can see the color starting to come through. So the professor asked to use a smaller canvas for this one, more for like a study, I would say. Looks, but I'm trying to be bold here. I guess the small size of the canvas is good to just not take too long doing a painting, right? But compared to a large painting. So yeah, I'm working on a 11 by 14 size, which is really nice size. I really enjoy painting on this size of canvas, and people who want to buy paintings, I think it's more affordable for them to buy a small painting first, right? Very often I hear people very excited to buy a painting, and then when they hear how much they cost, some like it, some don't, right? But obviously the bigger the painting, the more expensive it is. So this is a more friendly option for people that maybe don't have that much money to spend on a painting, or that are not maybe don't want to spend, like they have the money, they just don't want to spend it the first time they buy a painting, and they're still getting into that art collection sort of hobby, I would say. People like to, I guess, decorate their homes with traditional art, and I would always suggest that. I would recommend that because I personally think that supporting local business in general is better. So always better to purchase a traditional or original painting than one of those that they sell at what's the place called? I'm blanking out on the name, but you know where I'm talking about, where they sell mass-produced paintings. Um, so yeah, there's nothing wrong with those. I like those too, right? But obviously, I rather have original painting than a mass-produced painting. So you might see here what I'm doing. I'm grabbing some green, sap green, and I'm just adding it in the parts very lightly. I don't want to like cover what I've done already. Adding it where I see that there's greens, somewhat cool colors, and just slowly filling up the space with the colors that I see. So when I say support local business, I mean, for example, if you want a hamburger, better to go to a local hamburger place than to go to McDonald's, right? There's nothing wrong with McDonald's. I like McDonald's rarely, but I like it. Or there's obviously some fast food chains that I like, but I try to go to local business, right? So that the economy can flourish and improve. So usually whenever I travel, I'm looking for a place that is local, that the local people like. So I'm going to shift here a little bit to I think I'm going to go into the hair, and I'm going to grab some raw umber, although I've already used quite a bit. So it's dark in some parts, so I'm going to grab a touch of black. Never too much black. Oh, that's a little too much. But I'm just looking for the dark places, trying not to get too dark too quick, although as I'm doing this I feel like it looks a little dark already, so I'm going to just be careful here not to overdo it, just creating some definition right here. I have a little bit of glare because of the light that I'm using to record, but that's fine. I can work with that. One more time, so this channel, I started it just to record my painting and my journey of painting, my experience, to document what I've been doing and for people to see how I do things, and maybe try it out themselves if you are wanting to paint, start painting. And that can be a little bit intimidating to get started. But yeah, if you like the content, like and subscribe, right? I've been really stressing that I want to reach 50 followers or subscribers. This is not Instagram, it's YouTube. And the reason is so that I can go live and paint and interact with you as I'm doing it, right? So that would be nice to be able to talk, and maybe if you have a question or you just want to say hello, we can talk, right? So that is my goal for now, to go to 50 subscribers so I can go live. So if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe if you like the content. And yep, otherwise I'm just going to continue working on these things, on these paintings, and having a good time. So maybe a little blue for the hair. There's a lot of blue here, so I'm not grabbing just pure blue, but somewhat incorporating it into the painting. I should maybe be more careful, I don't know. This is just the speed that I feel like working at right now. So once this dries, then I can develop those colors a little bit more, right? So right now I'm just kind of going through it a little quick. So like, for example, on the sleeve of this lady, there's a little bit of blue, and again I see cerulean blue, so just throw it in there. Now that is a little too strong, too much blue, so I'm blending it a little bit, not caring too much, maybe grabbing a little white. And right now I'm just trying to get the general idea of this painting so that it gets some more life, what I would call more life, so it starts speaking more. I'm going to switch, so I'm cleaning my brush here, and I'm going to switch to the gown here, and I'm going to grab a little bit of red, just a slight amount of red, and blue to make it a little bit more purple. And let's see, something like that, not too strong. Oh, too strong. Too much red. So get rid of that. I see orange there, so just a touch of orange. Oh, again, too strong. Blend it. Blend, blend, blend. Too orange, too warm. Grab blue to cool it down. Needs more red, and like that. It's just a dance between colors. A nice dance. And that's the benefit of painting when the paint is wet. You can just manipulate it on the canvas. And yeah, so the gown is not the most important thing. Obviously, the face is the most important thing in this painting. So I might switch to working on the face really soon. I'm just gonna finish up a little bit here, and I'm not caring too much here about the hair. I'm just trying to fill up the space with the general color that I see. So if you're watching, say hello in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from, how your day is going. Say hi, give me your feedback, whatever you like. So I'm going to switch now to maybe work a little more on the background. More blue up here, a lot of blue. Just so that painting has a little more harmony, and the blue is going into the hair. There's a lot of blue in the hair. So I'm just going to throw blue in there. Somewhat like that. I'm losing the definition between the hair and the background. So now I'm going to switch to some raw umber. So what's happening is that the blue needs more white. Just a touch of white here to lighten up the background for more contrast between the head. Oh, we got green. It mixed too much. That's okay. That's fine. We'll fix it as we go. And yeah, last time my video was like an hour or something, hour and 12 minutes or something like that. So I don't know if, I know sometimes I do watch videos for a very long time. I will sit and watch a whole video if it's 2 hours sometimes, or 3 hours even. So that's not a problem for me. But I don't know, let me know what you think, how long the video should be. I usually just, so far this is the third video I do, and all I've been doing is painting, talking, and eventually when I get tired I stop my video. So, oh, too much red. So yeah, let me know what you think, what could make the videos better, and generally what you think about these videos. So yeah, I really like to paint the portraits. I've really been enjoying learning how to paint or improving my portrait painting. Every time I've done it, it's been different. That's the only thing. So I don't have a set technique to doing this, but you know, every time something else comes out and I start to realize what I like what techniques I like, what others I don't. So now I'm just going here, little black and raw umber, and getting this part here. The darkness here. So a lot of the painting, I try to just think about how dark or light it is and how warm or cool it is. So right now I'm getting ultramarine blue and putting it here in the dark parts of the background just to darken with the same hue, with the same color, and to give it a little bit of dynamic. I like this not flat looking backgrounds, right? So it needs more white around. Generally, like here needs white, touch of white. Over here needs more white to lighten up, make the color go through more blue. A lot more blue here. Loading the brush, meaning grabbing paint without being afraid of grabbing paint. And that's something I'm working on. Generally, ultramarine blue to darken the cerulean blue. And yeah, something like that. I'm not going to paint for too long today, although I always say the same thing, then I paint for too long. So I'm going to, and as you can see, I'm kind of going a little fast today, trying to not be too stiff on the arm. Okay, the hair has a lot of white, but not just white, it has blue. So I'm just going to give an idea here of the hairline, or this, I don't know what you call it, the fold in the hair, and start highlighting the hair. I don't remember where I heard this, but I really liked it, and it said something like, whenever there are a lot of one thing in a painting, so for example, hairs, we have thousands of hairs, so we're not going to paint each hair, right? You just, whenever there's a lot of one thing in one paint, in one subject, it's better to just give an idea of the hair, and that's it, not too much. We're not going to paint every hair. I'm still working on that, but I always think about that when I'm trying to do hair, or, okay, my brush is dirty with white, so I'm grabbing blue, covering here. I think I'm going to switch to the face, to work a little bit on the face. So I'm just going to add a little bit of white with blue there. Not best, but okay. The idea. Okay, well, I can work on this slowly. Right here, there's a highlight. Okay, so I'm going to switch to, before I do that, I'm going to make this brighter here. Okay. right in the neck here. Okay, being careful not to, uh-oh. Okay, that's fine. Maybe darken the hair. I know I said I was going to move to the face, but I keep saying things here. So that's one of my rules that I follow whenever, even if I'm going to move on to the next part, if I suddenly catch something, I'll just work on that. I will not leave it for later. As soon as I catch something that needs work, then I start working on it. Somewhat of OCD, right? Or I don't know what that would be called. OCD, ADHD, I don't know. So you'll see that I say I'm going to do the face now and I'll continue working on something else, and because I get distracted. And I work on the spot, I guess. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So just follow your instinct. And here we go, a little bit of the cheek, under the ear. Follow the shape of what you're painting. If the hair needs work, more dark. So all of this dark. The ear is covered. You can maybe grab some blue to cool it down. To cool, I rather have it more warm. And the hair is wild, so the brushstroke is wild. Oh, too dark there. So I hope your day is going good so far. I hope you have a nice weekend. I will be going this weekend to a place in Wisconsin called Door County. So if you're not familiar with that place, it's the peninsula of Wisconsin. Really, really beautiful if you ever have a chance to visit. It's really nice, the nature, and you're surrounded by the water of Lake Michigan on both sides. So yeah, it's this Sunday I'm going to go and just with my family and enjoy the nature, because the fall is coming. The trees are starting to change finally. I was getting concerned that they wouldn't change, but they're starting to change. So hopefully we see a lot of beautiful orange trees and brown trees. I always get very, very inspired and happy when I see the season changing. It's one of my favorite times of the year. So if you've never been to Milwaukee or Wisconsin in general, if you have a chance, I would highly recommend that you go visit Door County. Really nice place. So, okay. So now to the face. I'm going to switch to the smaller brush, this one. And I think I'm going to begin with some of the cheek, which is a little bit of crimson. Crimson is very strong color, so I just grab a little bit and a touch of orange, maybe. Now it's too strong. It's not so bad. And just start filling in the pink parts of the face. Now it's looking a little bit strong, so I'm going to tone it down a little bit. And yeah, this picture has a lot of contrast between cool and warm color from what I'm seeing. So, okay, there it just looks like I drew a little too dark, painted too dark there, so fix it as I go. I see a lot of blue and green on her face. So if I see green, I put green directly from the pile that I have here of sap green. Too much green in this painting, which is nice, I guess. So yeah, there's green on the edges, crimson, orange. There's a lot of color changes. So I guess I'm going to go here on the hairline. I see green. And more green. Make me think of Louis Armstrong. Yeah, kind of a little bit of blue. And I'm not like, as you can see, I'm not putting a lot of blue. It's just a little bit, and kind of glazing the painting with the color that I see, so I don't cover up the previous color. Blue, light touch, not too heavy. And also the edges, as last time I was talking about not having very strong edges between, for example, the side of the face and the cheek and the hair. A lot of white around here, and then again back on the hair. So just trying to make sense of what I see. More white, a little brown. Something like that, just an idea of the hair. Some blue maybe, white. Highlights, build on the highlights. Okay, I'm going to go back to here. I don't want to see any canvas really, or not canvas, but the underpainting. I don't want to see underpainting, so like here, I'm working on covering up this part That's nice. A little blue. A lot of blue in this one. A lot of blue, a lot of green. Mm. Blue, following the shape of the hair, and blue. So now I see dark. So this part here, I see the canvas. I don't want to see the underpainting. That's what I'm trying to say. The underpainting. No underpainting. Mm-hmm. And better. Uh, Here. Okay, so back to the crimson, crimson, orange, crimson, and there's crimson here. That bit of crimson. Following the shape of the cheek, there's crimson under the eye here. Now this brush is not my favorite again, and that's when I get to places like the eye, like here is where I realize that I need a different brush, a little more precise, because this one is too open, too wild. I don't know if you can see there, but it's open like that instead of being close together. It's like this, and from use, I guess, but this is what I have for now. So I'm going to work with this. And then later, once I get into more details, I'm actually going to go buy a paintbrush that I want, and I'm going to work on more detail. Mm-hmm. So also, I don't know if this is good or bad, but when I see that something is not blended, or if it stands out too much, the stroke, then I blend it a little bit. So here there's blue. A lot of nice blue here. I love cerulean blue. And we don't want her to look like she has a black eye, right? So it has to be blended a little better here. Okay. My paintings start to look like it's not like it's too contrasting. The color, I see like crimson and green, two colors, and I don't like that. So I'm starting to blend a little bit here. Maybe going to add a little bit of white in a second to lighten up the light parts. But yeah, let's do that now. So let's grab some white. And for example here, okay, need more. And remember, white is not just white. It's not good to use just white. So there's a touch of blue in there, in this part. So it's gonna be something like here. I need to grab more, load the brush, and like that, more contrast. Mm-hmm. Like that, a little white here on the edge of the hair. Mm-hmm. Little highlight here. Okay. That's too precise, make it wild. Okay. Again, more white. So I'm just going to right now lighten up those parts that look like here. Lighter. It looks like it needs a little yellow, so a little warmth. And I'm going to grab a little bit of mineral spirits to help the paint run a little. I don't want to use oil right now. So here's a little delicate area, so I have to be careful. And it's a little grayish. And as I paint, I'm slowly building contrast between the dark and the light. The nose. So there's a big highlight on the nose, right about here. Something like that here for the nose bridge. Okay, so this part needs work here, so I'm going to, that's as much as I can zoom in. But first I see green here. By the eye, going down to the nose. And where else? A little green under the eyebrow. Green here. So grabbing more green, just a little green. And later build up. Green here. Green, all of this, the cheek. A lot of green. And the neck. More green. So interesting. This looks like an AI image, like an AI generated image. So maybe that's why, I don't know. I like these AI images to paint from because they're not copyrighted. So I can use them. Green. Like that. I'm gonna go wiping my brush, go back to the white, and again lighten up some parts, so like here, part of the nose, the mouth here, the edge of the nose. So the painting looks a bit pale, in my opinion. It looks a little pale right now, but little by little we build more color. If it looks pale, add more saturation, more color. And okay, so here I'm going to define the nose a little more, grabbing some brown. The nose goes more straight down. Okay, this is being a little tricky. The nose here has brown going down. It's too yellow brown, so I'm going to grab a little darker brown. Something like that. I see blue under the eye with a touch of green, so it's more like blue-green right here, kind of gray. here, blue in the cast shadow of the hair strand, blue on the edge of the eyebrow, on this one too, a lot of blue here, so I'll grab more blue. Too blue. So yeah, I'm going to continue working on this painting for a longer time, and I'll submit another video next week. Have a good day.